Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Bix Weir, Road to Ruta. Afternoon update on Friday for silver. One thing I didn't talk about this morning, I got too busy talking about XRP this morning. The ruling, non-ruling craziness in XRP. Ultimately, yeah, I think it's good for cryptos, but XRP is a banker coin. Why would I want to invest in a coin that would only help bankers prolong the unbacked fiat monetary system? But hey, I'm not going to get in the fight with the XRP army. I remember back in the day, my God, they were vicious, and they were paid by Ripple. So, I think right now with the jump in price, it's coming back down now because Ripple Corporation is saying, "Oh my God, we got another chance to sell. I never thought we could." But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, silver. So silver hit $25 and got spooked. Somebody gave it a little tap on the head on very low volume Friday afternoon type of stuff. But that's not what really interests me. What really interests me is, again, a massive exchange for physical, meaning you take contracts out of the September silver delivery month and you, in the COMEX, and you bring them over to London for delivery. This is 14 million ounces. Now, remember, I just commented in the first 10, 11 days, there was hardly any exchange for physical on silver, which is kind of out of the ordinary because they're averaging 80, 90, 100 million ounces a month that's delivered on the LBMA of these exchanges for physicals. And then the last 3 days, massive exchange for physicals. Harvey Organ's site, harveyorganblog.com. This doesn't include the 14 today. So now, all of a sudden, July, as it was lagging before, and I commented a couple times, nobody's taken exchange for physical this month. Something happened, and some big entity, probably a couple of them, are taking massive amounts of physical silver, moving them from the COMEX, they're buying them on the contracts, and they're delivering in London. So this number of 24 million ounces for July is now 38 million ounces because of the 2,873 contracts that were shifted in the EFP. So really interesting stuff. Now, I wonder if I can figure out who it is that's doing this late in the month, because I think it's just one entity, and the only two entities in the world that have that much silver to play around with are JP Morgan and Bank of America at the moment, and Citibank, I would guess. So here's what I did. I looked at who made deliveries just today. Today's a tiny month, but who was making the deliveries and who was taking acceptance. And it looks like Bank of America right here took 22 contracts to delivery mid-month. Now, JP Morgan took 32. So there's your two culprits right there. JP Morgan and Bank of America are most likely behind what's going on in the exchange for physical. Now, these are the two entities that did a structured lease with all of JP Morgan's stolen silver, 1.2 billion ounces, according to the OCC data. Probably more than that. That's just what they had to report. And then Bank of America did a tricky little lease job on them after after JP Morgan got busted. So that's kind of where we are. So I think we're going to see this continuing at a rapid pace. It was nothing at the beginning of the month, and now it's going crazy. So add 14 million to the 24, you got 38 million, and you're only halfway through July. Again, the speed at which this is happening now, I mean, right now at 38, it would put us somewhere around 80 million ounces by the end of the month, which is a good month, but not a great one. But if it continues to escalate, we could see the biggest month ever in exchange for physicals, where physical silver is delivered in London, if it goes at the same pace it did it the last couple of days, which I think it might. I think there's something going on there, and we got to keep our eye on it. So I went back in time a little bit and said, okay, what's the biggest month this year? See if a trend is developing here. So I went back the last 7 months, and it was March. 212 million ounces were exchanged for physical, where the contract went from the derivative contract to delivery in London. So I'm like, okay, if my theory is true that this is Bank of America and JP Morgan playing this game, more Bank of America taking delivery because they don't want to, show or paying, they're paying it. Are they paying it back to JP Morgan? We don't know. But if this is true, this big month here, 118 million ounces, we should see in the COMEX data that was a big delivery month for who was ever doing that, because they, on a smaller scale, will do it on the COMEX. So I pulled up the monthly, and lo and behold, we have who was huge in March. It was Bank of America taking 1,500 contracts, which is like 7.5 million ounces. So clearly Bank of America is this insane entity that's taking all these contracts, I believe, taking all the contracts that should have been delivered on the COMEX. They can't do it as a single entity. And then going and taking delivery of these contracts in London, and trying to close up their, or pay. It could be even they're paying it to giving that physical silver that they have long contracts through the lease structure. Who knows how? But they're giving the silver to either back to JP Morgan, or more likely, in my opinion, they're giving it to Elon Musk and Warren Buffett. So that's kind of where we are, and it's real interesting that Bank of America's head pokes out of the sand there when that happens. And as a matter of fact, they were so short physical for Bank of America back in March that JP Morgan had to come out of its house account for 700 contracts, 3.5 million ounces. That tells you it's the game is down to just a couple players on the physical silver side. On the derivative side, everybody's trying to get out of the short. Who knows? Who knows how that's going? It's not going well since the 4th of July, as we can tell from this chart. You go from just go 1 month out, and you can see right around the 4th of July, right in here, we have boom, 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 boom. We're going up, and I think it would be symbolic and really cool if from the 4th of July to September 11th, the good guys just brought silver up slow and steady. By September 11th, you're at $50, and then all hell breaks loose. So keep an eye on it. I will be stopping the silver Ruta coin giveaway when silver hits $30. And then it's off to the races. And so I'm going to stop giving those away, give out of crypto. But make sure you check in. And I just heard this afternoon. The biggest, why pay taxes anymore, truthfully? You're paying for the Ukraine, you're paying for the Biden campaign money, the Clinton campaign money through FTX, all that bullshit. Now, Biden administration forgives $39 billion in student debt for over 800,000 borrowers. The most disgusting thing I've ever heard was, I think it was Corinne Jean-Pierre or whatever her name was, say, "Oh, we need to forgive this debt so these students can put a down payment on a house." I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? They steal taxpayers' money so that they can sit in a liberal arts college and study, women's studies in Uganda and get a degree in it, and then say, "Oh, I can't make any money in this field. I have to work at Starbucks, but I can't pay my debt to the American people because these are loans given by your tax money, and we're just going to forgive it." The president does not have this right, does not have this ability. The insane motherfucker should not be doing this. And this will end up in court, obviously, but oh my God. If you can't pay your debt, default. I would say everybody in America stop paying taxes. Just stop. I've had enough. We should all have enough. Get enough of us, it's over. Kick him out. Anyway, that's where we are. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.